We have a lot of greats, but the question comes down to who was more impactful and whose music means more, Bob Marley or Michael Jackson?
So this has been an argument, Mike and Henny. That's why I wanted a second person.
Okay, all right.
I'm the only person that has my argument.
No. We don't know that. We don't know what his argument is. Hear me out.
I kept it in the top.
Theron and I have been arguing about this since Michael Jackson passed away.
Okay.
Well, I said, man, Michael Jackson is probably the most impactful artist. His music means more. And Theron's like, it doesn't mean more than Bob Marley. So my argument is Michael Jackson music means more to the world. And he's saying Bob Marley's music means more to the world.
I think Bob Marley music.
No. We could ask.
Bob Marley was dead. Bob Marley was dead before. Let's just talk about Bob Marley was dead before Thriller come out. Okay, Bob Marley never got to tour the United States of America, so let's just think Bob Marley never got to come here, do shows, and build an American fan base. He has an American fan base after his death, based on Bob Marley Legend, which is the greatest hits album. Okay. So let's just all talk about that. He didn't have music videos premiere on the news. He didn't have all the advertising and marketing thing. We're talking about he didn't dress like an artist or have all of that. We're talking that a guy that wore cut off shorts, played soccer, wore whatever, got up on his guitar and spoke lyrics and words of revolution and affected the whole entire world before he died and after his death. To this point, you associate Bob Marley with dreads, you associate Bob Marley with weed, you associate Bob Marley with the country of Jamaica.
Okay.
To this day. So again, yes, Michael Jackson is the greatest performer that ever lived. Michael Jackson, the man, the face, the human, might be more recognizable and more famous if I see him. But did Michael Jackson music mean more than Redemption Song, Three Little Birds, One Love, Let's Get Together and Feel All Right? All of you motherfuckers are wrong.
Go ahead. No, nobody even said nothing. You just cooked. Nobody said nothing. And Mike and Henny, we want your thoughts.
I mean, you make great statements. I mean, and the thing is that, you know, when you have an artist that comes from that generation before the establishment of the music video, right?
Yes.
Because we talk about the music before the music video was for the ears.
Michael Jackson
right?
made the music video.
The music after music television, music videos became about the ears and the eyes.
Yep.
Right? This is the same situation we're doing now, right? With social media and branding and everything else, right? But we're talking about two different ways that it interacted with the consumer,
Absolutely.
right? The difference between an artist who was for the song, for their branding was about, you know, so much beyond, you know, just a performance. Right, and then you look at somebody like Michael Jackson, and he just captivated. Nobody had ever seen performance like that.
Yep.
Nobody ever heard records that blended like that and felt that type of way. Yet he did get that stain that we were talking about, and it was just public perception that was never brought to life or said he's been convicted or anything like that. And so that has always been kind of like, I wonder if. But at the end of the day, you know, when you go out and you any country you're in,
Go ahead.
any country you're in, you're gonna hear Bob Marley records all over the place. And so I don't know.
Who music is more impactful to the world?
The world, Bob Marley.
Oh my God, Mike, let me hear you. See, Theron, look at you. You gotta win, Mike. Go ahead.
No, but it's crazy because when we brought it up yesterday, my initial, because I am a huge Michael Jackson fan.
You named after him.
I was like, this is not even a question. But then I had the conversation to myself, and then especially last night, I'm sitting there, I'm stressed out. I'm like, yo, hold on a second. I love this dude, Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
But from a global standpoint, because of what Bob represents, I think the impact, and then Henny, what you're saying about as far as what you're saying is as far as brand, like I think Michael Jackson had more impact from a business for consumer, like from a consumer aspect of it. But I feel like Bob Marley had more impact from a human level globally, if that makes any sense.
That's basically what I was saying.
Bob Marley has been dead the whole time.
Can I
Michael
talk?
Jackson.
Can I jump in?
Yes. Just remember, we're talking about somebody who isn't alive the whole entire
Where
time.
Bob Marley died?
I think
84?
it's 82 or 83. Don't quote me on that. Google it and let's be
Go ahead,
sure.
Stanzza. Tell me what year he died. You got the computer.
And then tell us what year Thriller came out.
84.
84.
No, Thriller came out 82.
And what year did
82 to 83.
1981.
So he died before Thriller came out.
And when did Off the Wall come out?
79.
Yeah.
Okay.
Off the Wall dropped 79.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so here's my thoughts. So I hate comparing legends,
Yes.
minimizing legends.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Theron is right. But I want to ask Theron. Theron, I'm going to ask you a question. I'm going to ask you a real question.
Okay.
Who rank these two in order?
Okay.
1 and 2. Jay-Z and Biggie. Who's 1, who's 2? No, I got him. I know him so good. Let's go. I know the answer. I'm waiting for him to answer though. He looks like his kids right now. That's how you know he's better. He look like Cameron right now. Like he got caught. I'm just asking you, who would you rank number 1, Jay-Z or Biggie?
I would rank Jay-Z number 1.
Of course you would. You know why?
Because he affected me.
And you know why? He had more time to affect you. He had more time.
Okay.
Biggie, to me, Biggie is a much better rapper than Jay-Z. Biggie's albums are much better albums, much more entertaining than Jay-Z. But Biggie only had 3 years. And Jay-Z had 20. And at some point in time, you got to give it to the nigga that survived and played long enough. So I say that to you to say this, that I do agree Bob Marley, he represents, he represents weed, dreads, Jamaica. But I will say this, when we say music affects the world, I think that if we're at a random place in Russia or India or China or Korea and you played Bob Marley, 3 Little Birds, and play Michael Jackson's Man in the Mirror, I think Man in the Mirror is going to get a much bigger effect than that. You got to understand something. Michael Jackson became what Bob Marley was trying to become. Michael Jackson is the only artist that any of us have ever seen in our life that had motherfuckers in the audience passing out. I mean, it was like
getting dragged out.
10 people coming, just drag him to the front. Like, he was so famous. I think Michael Jackson is the most famous human being to ever live outside of Jesus. That's how famous he is. Like, to the
Cut that one.
Nigga,
Yeah, that's a clip.
Michael Jackson. No. Michael Jackson is hit, like Theron said, his face. But then Theron said, weed, Jamaica, dreads. What'd he say? Okay, so what I'm gonna say is red jacket, high waters, the shiny glove, a monkey on your fucking arm, like exotic animal on your
And
arm.
I feel like these are things less used in a normal day.
No,
I
no,
feel like
I-
more people smoke weed and wear red jackets. I feel like more people have dreads than monkey on the arm. Guess what's so funny? I feel like more people have dreads and smoke weed than people that actually dance.
That's true.
So even the dance community is a community, but again, you know, if we're talking about the population of Jamaica is 2.7 million people, and the population of the Caribbean and every Caribbean island, Bob Marley is the pinnacle. He is the goal of every
Caribbean artist.
Caribbean island in the world. Then let's talk about,
And that's probably still 2% of the world's population.
Let's talk about when you go through Asia. Michael Jackson is loved and revered in Asia. He is amazing. So is Bob Marley.
Nobody's trying to be like Bob Marley in Jamaica.
I'm not
I
saying
mean, in Asia.
We're not talking about
Seven,
be
like that nigga. What's that nigga name that you did the Jump Cook is trying to? He's doing Mike. He's doing Mike. Usher's doing Mike.
You said
I'm gonna say
Michael
this.
Jackson.
I'm gonna say this. Michael, to me, listen. I hate to disrespect Bob Marley because I think
You're not disrespecting.
Hear me out.
You're just saying.
I think
You feel like
I
Michael
would
is
say
more
this.
influential.
I think if Bob Marley's music means something to you, there are more people who are filled up. Their soul is filled by Bob Marley's music, more than Michael Jackson. But Bob Marley is Mastro's. He's you serve the right people, you there. But Michael Jackson is motherfucking McDonald's. The Big Mac is ain't everywhere. So even if you say Bob Marley is the bigger music, it's like, how could his music impact that much? I guarantee you in South Korea right now, where he goes, they dance the Michael Jackson beat it. Then they sing
South
it.
Korea,
Woke up this morning.
In South Korea, there are murals of Bob Marley, not Michael Jackson.
Now, would you say Michael's more famous?
What you gonna say?
I just want to say, would you say that Michael Jackson is more famous and Bob Marley is more impactful?
That's what I was trying to get to. Like,
See, that's what I'm saying.
what is the actual question like that makes
all
that.
impact?
Let's
all that.
we're gonna go down the line.
Henny,
Impact.
I see you, Henny.
Final answer. Henny, are we talking about impact? Impact.
Biggest or
And we got to move
Bob
on.
Marley has
Impact.
27 million monthly listeners on Spotify, and Michael Jackson has 47 million. Let's go to the next subject. That's 40. That's a number. That's a fact, by the way. That is a fact.
Ray
47 million people.
That's okay.
47 million people. 47 million people listen on.
Spotify listeners.
that's
That is
hilarious.
always Bray's favorite.
Hey, I'm just saying that's the metric we can measure. That's our sound scan. That's our sound scan.
But we're dealing in two different times.
And we're asking who music impact more. So Michael Jackson gets more people listening because he has 47
Okay,
million.
so who's more
Ray said
impactful
impact.
in 20?
He
Okay.
said Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson.
Impact. Who you say?
Wait, impactful?
Yes.
Bob Marley.
Okay.
I would say the same thing.
Bob Marley?
Bob Marley.
But we know
Theron.
Theron
More
was
famous. Like,
Bob Marley.
You won, nigga, you won.
Who's a better rapper?
Oh, where we going next?
Who's a better rapper?
Go.
Jay-Z or Flo Rida?
Jay-Z, easy.
But Flo Rida got more monthly listeners than Jay-Z.
Because Jay-Z retired, but his
Flo Rida,
Y'all.
Jay-Z never made a hit. I don't want to do
Where's the
yo, Theron did a crazy curveball.
Theron did a curveball. Like where you went, but for the sake of the show, let's go to the next show. I'm gonna get your ass back. I'm gonna get your ass back. I'm gonna get your ass back. Cause
All right.
Oh, that's
All right. All right.
Theron went to, listen, y'all, I know it's so good. As I start winning the argument, Theron goes.
Let me go find
Coming back with my
somebody.
number.
33 million monthly Jay-Z, 36 million Flo Rida. But
All
Jay-Z's
right.
my favorite artist of all time. I love
that's
Jay-Z.
All right.
Goodness
So